Hey friends, welcome back to Raising Your Prices Challenge. We are now in our final week of this challenge. And of course, the work only begins for you. The work only begins for me. This is a journey. This is not something that you can master in one day. And raising your prices is a process. If that's anything that you have learned from this challenge, then it's great. I'm Elena Mutonona. I help online language teachers and coaches build sustainable and smart businesses that they enjoy running. And today I would like to introduce you to 3 habits that I have right now that I didn't have for a long time that really help me to stay on track, working towards my financial goals. And it's really important when we want to achieve certain things that we get laser focused on the process. How do we get there? We don't just close our eyes and one day we're miraculously transported to a place where we're making what we want to make and we're living our dreams life. We can start it today. We can think the way the people that have already achieved that goal are going to act. We are going to make sure that we are laser focused, and that's something that is your responsibility and my responsibility. Without that, it's going to be very difficult to achieve our goals, and we really, really need to make time for doing this stuff because this stuff is important. Money data, money going in and out of your business is the information you need to make decisions about how much you still need to sell by the end of the month, what and who you need to contact, how many coaching calls you need to conduct, how you need to create and offer certain things to the people that are coming into your space, and how you need to be really confident and working on that confidence, moving away from doubt and confusion and overwhelm, the things that I talked about in the previous video. So let's take a look at the things that we need. 3 habits that I have today that help me stay on track and get closer to my financial goals. I realized at some point that nobody is going to do that for me. Even if I hire an accountant, right? They are not going to do the work for me the way I want them to do it. And I am responsible for the results I want. I can't just say and pretend that, well, one day I'm going to get into a business that is going to make $500,000 or $1 million. This is the work that I am doing right now that is really helping me achieve the goal that I want for myself, for my family, for my community, because everything that we create, the wealth that we create, the overflow of it goes to our communities and people and friends, and it really helps us live a different kind of life and have a different kind of impact. So 3 habits that I do. I want to encourage you after this to remember that if you do not do some of these things, or if you close your eyes and say, well, I don't know, something's happening in my bank account, I don't know what it is, you are not going to get where you want to go, because looking at your bank account, working through your fears, working through your anxieties, getting comfortable with seeing what's in your bank account and visualizing what you want to see in your bank account. It's very important. So the very first strategy that I use, the very first one, whoops, I'm going to make these. This is my first strategy, is track my finances. And the way I do it, there are lots of different ways of doing it, and I've tried different strategies and to see what's going to work and what's stuck and not. But my level of anxiety, money anxiety, has been so high my entire life, and I worked through a number of financial sort of traumas coming from my childhood and where I grew up and what we had and what we lost. So there was a lot of fear that came from, finances. And so when I listened to your regular advice, people said, well, you can just, make a date with your finances, and you can just decide that you are going to track your finances every week. For me, once a week was not enough. I discovered that once a week, I felt this heaviness coming towards my account because there were so many ins and outs, things that are coming into account, going out. And I also do my my own family finances through that. And so doing it weekly would just put me into the state where I dread it, because there was there was just too many transactions. It wasn't like one or two, it was a lot. So I started doing it daily, and it did wonders to me. I have spreadsheets where I created on the left side all the categories of my budget. And then at the top, I put numbers from 1 to 31. And so every day when something goes out, I put it into my spreadsheet. And to the right, it all adds up, and I can compare, okay, this is what I budgeted, and this is what is coming out. And I'm going to include these, the template, if you want to. You can download it. If you look at the description, there will be a link where you can sign up and download those spreadsheets, and then you can create your own or make changes or whatever it is that you want to do. But it really helps to see what someone else is doing. And not only expenses, because I track business expenses and my home expenses, but also income. So everything that comes in to my account, I put in a spreadsheet. And yes, I have software that is connected to my bank that my accountant is looking at and making more specific calculations. But for me, it's important, okay, this is how much it came in, and I do it every single day. Sometimes I cannot do it every day, and I can feel it, but it has to be at least 4 times a week. So the second one is meet with my accountant. And I've had accountants for a while. I had an accountant that was working on my accounts and looking at what's coming in and out and creating reports for me. But I also had a tax accountant. Now I have one accountant that does both taxes and my bookkeeping. And I also pay for software. But I used to do this like this. I would just work on my thing and just give my accountant all the reports that they need. But I would not go in and say, okay, here's how we're doing. Here's what I need to be changed. This is how I need to categorize expenses and things like that. And I realized that, she may not know, and she doesn't have to know how to run my accounts. I need to show up, and I need to, here's my accountant, I need to tell her what needs to happen with my accounts. Hope she's not watching this. Otherwise, she would not know. Like, if I need her to look through my expenses and categorize my expenses in a certain way, I will tell her, okay, this that came in, that was from coaching, and she needs to put it in. Why is it important to me? Well, it's important because at the end of the quarter, I look back at what came in and how it's categorized, and I can see, okay, my main source of income, for example, is coaching, or my main source of income is Smart Teachers Library, which is our community, which, by the way, you can join. This is something that really helps me make decisions, because if I don't have that data, I don't know how much money is there. And then if you only have coaching, for example, then you can instruct your accountant to categorize coaching. Maybe you have VIP coaching and you have, just regular coaching. And then at the end of the quarter, you can go back and see, okay, I sold so many VIP coaching spots and I sold so many of these spots. And it turns out that VIP coaching is actually more profitable because it seems like if people are ready, they are choosing something that's more expensive. So I'm just going to hide on my website the regular coaching option and just leave the more expensive one. So these are just some of the things. And the third one that is really, really helpful, but it takes a little bit of time. And of course, you need some focus to do that. The third is build a cushion. And by cushion, I mean financial cushion. Okay, but I'm going to draw a cushion. And there's a very easy way to build a financial cushion, especially in the beginning when you're not bringing in a lot. So you don't need to, in the beginning, worry about taxes as much, but you can still build a financial cushion. And here's how. Every transaction that comes in, 20% you put in savings. Now, it's not always going to happen, but if you start this habit, you will just continue going with it. As your revenue increases and your cushion increases, you can revise that. You can put in 20% at the end of the month if you want to do it. Or you can take the money from the cushion and reinvest it in your business and get more money. So there's a lot of different ways of going about it. But the very easy thing that has helped me build my financial cushion is anytime, somebody pays me $200 for anything, I will put $40 into my savings account. And it was really easy because I didn't have to do it. Anytime I tried to do it at the end of the month, I didn't have it because it was like a bigger amount and you don't have as much coming in at that time. But if you train yourself, and maybe you can start with 20%. Maybe you want to start with 10, and that's okay too, especially if you're just starting out. But once you start seeing that money in your bank account, you will get really excited and you will be more focused and determined to get that cushion together. And I can guarantee you that it will feel amazing when you have that, because then you are not as worried or anxious about your money situation. And then you can make decisions. Sometimes you can take, if you've had a big enough cushion, and you can take it and you can say to yourself, well, I'm going to just take and reinvest it. And it's going to help me create better results. And it's pretty cool when you are in a position to do that, because you feel really empowered at that point. And I'm going to take now, one of you suggested using the sparkly colors. I'm going to take my sparkly purple, and it doesn't really look like purple here, but anyway, and make my cushion sparkly purple. I'm trying to see if it's actually really sparkly. Maybe I'll try another sparkly one next time. Yeah, it kind of has a little bit of sparkle. And that is my sparkly little cushion that I'm creating for myself, so that when my launch doesn't go well or I don't get a client, I do not base my decisions to move my business forward. I don't shut things down and fire people that are working for me or whatever. I make it happen. I make my own future, create my own future using what I already have. I hope this was a helpful lesson. And these are my 3 habits of what I do to help me move forward in my business and achieve my goals of sustainability and greater profitability for my business. When you get into these habits, you will feel differently about your business, and it will be less intimidating to ask for money because you will see that money is a way to make the change you seek to make in the world, and this is incredible. Now, if you want to get deeper into the coaching and you want to learn more about emotional intelligence and how it relates to our business and our future dreams, sign up for my free Q&As at the end of each month. You can bring your pencils, you can bring your watercolors because we are going to do a little bit of that as well. And it's going to be an amazing hour when I can answer your questions and you can ask me anything about my business. If you're curious, I would love to connect with you. There is the link in the description, and of course, you will find the link to the tools that I'm currently using to track my finances, and you're welcome to copy them and tweak them the way you want to. Thank you so much for your time, and until next time.